Welcome back to another episode of the Personal Collection. Awesome guest here today, Dakota with the YouTube channel Sports Card Anonymous. Hey, welcome to the show.
What is up, Ryan? Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, no problem. So this is the second YouTuber that we've had on the show. First one, we had James from Elite Hunters. Now we have Sports Card Anonymous. So before we go into your personal collection, let's talk a little bit about your channel. So what type of videos are you making over there? How often are you uploading? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, the journey's been a while. It's been a wild one. I started YouTube in like January, December of last year. So almost a year now. The channel because I've been collecting, since 1999. I've been in the hobby the whole time. I never took a break. And I saw a lot of people kind of giving a lot of advice and saying a lot of things that I just didn't agree with. One of my strong takes was, investing in goats isn't safe. I felt like people talked about it like it was an index fund, and it's just, in my opinion, not that safe. But my YouTube journey has really been about how I'm trying to learn more about the hobby and how to leverage the hobby more so that I can build a better collection for myself. And a big part of what I've been doing, especially recently, is really exploring what it is to build a satisfying collection. Because I looked back and I was like, I've been collecting for 20 years. The hobby's exploded. I look at all my cards and literally I would be okay with selling like all of them. And that made me feel like I didn't really build an amalgamation of cards. I don't know. And so I was like, I need to take this more serious and be happy with my collection. And so a lot of my content right now is focused on how to build how to build a collection that you're happy with and, just to enjoy the hobby a little bit more.
So let's give a few tips for people building out their collection. Obviously, this is the personal card collection. So people get to watch all different types of PCs ranging from wrestling to baseball, football, hockey, whatever sport. But what are some tips you give people?
One of the big things that I'm following right now is, when I look at my collection and I think about what is it, I see it as a series of smaller collections, right? And those collections together make the Sports Cards Anonymous collection. And so like I have a collection, I'm a Houston fan, as you can see from the Texans back there, but the Astros, they have a series of retired numbers for, various players. And I have a collection of those guys. And it's what I really have learned is to keep it very short. And so that collection is either their first Topps card. Well, it's their first Topps card and it's their first Topps card in an Astros uniform. So I'm not doing like, I'm going to buy every single card all of these guys have, it's very short. And I would just say that if it's not like your main or one of your like 5 main PC people, I would strongly recommend sticking to not having more than 1 or 2 cards of that player. Maybe their flagship rookie card, and then maybe one nice other card, jersey, auto, whatever floats your boat, insert parallel, whatever it is you like. At the end of the day, you're going to be happier with a higher quality, not a higher quantity in your collection.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that. So before I started YouTube, I was always buying a lot of $1, $2 cards of players, hoping they would go up. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you buy dollar cards of players and they eventually go $40, $50, $100, $200, you're going to make money. Did that with Kershaw. I bought probably 50, 20 of his cards, huge stack of that, like flagship and everything like that. But I know I was paying like $2, $3 was back in 2008, 2009 when I was buying those. But at the same time, I could have bought some autograph cards for $40, $50. And if you look at the amount of returns on the autograph card versus the base, and then like how much easier it is to store one autograph card rather than 20 other cards that might be worth the same amount of value, and then moving it, like people want the autograph card. You can leverage that into a trade for a bigger card than those 20 other cards. You're going to have to piece them out. So there's nothing wrong with getting the lower end cards, obviously, but you want to try to upgrade into something that is bigger because that can give you a more return on it for long term. So one thing I want to ask also is, obviously go after your main PC cards. Do you still buy cards that aren't in your PC and try to leverage them for trades or anything like that, or sell them later on?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, part of the YouTube journey and my journey in the hobby the last year has been trying to learn, I know that I have a pretty good knowledge about the hobby, especially over the last 20 years, and just trying to leverage that to make a little bit of cash on the side here to move into cards that I otherwise would not have bought from my PC. And I kind of recently have said that, and I have strong takes. It is what it is. Their opinions. I'm wrong. I'm right. It is what it is. I have recently said I think flipping's dead, and I do believe that still. But I think prospecting, exactly what you just talked about with the Clayton Kershaw, I think prospecting is very much the way to kind of make some money in the hobby. And I guess I would just say a caution to people out there who don't have a big inventory. It takes time. It takes time to build inventory to where the point where you can get to trades. Don't chase this idea that you've got $500 in your collection right now, and then in the next, 6 months, you're going to have $45,000, without putting any more money into it. It just takes time to get there.
Yeah. And I'll add on to that. So the people that you see have $100,000 collection, $200,000 collections, they have the money to go out there and say, I'm going to buy the best cards out there. And without blinking an eye, that's not going to affect their bank account. But if you don't have that type of money, you have to go to the shows, you have to work on Facebook groups or on Twitter and wheel and deal to try to upgrade your stuff. It's not like what you see on social media. There's a lot of work behind it.
Yep. I agree 100%. Yeah.
So talking a little bit before the show, you mentioned that you collect a bunch of different things, but what's your two main PCs that you're going after right now?
Well, I would say the one that I'm really working hard on. There's two of them. Sure. Vintage football. There's two specific kind of subsets. I'm collecting one rookie card, mostly the flagship rookie card of every NFL Hall of Famer. And I'm also getting either a jersey card or an auto card of every NFL 100 player. So that's my NFL one. And then my main, I don't really I don't know how else to say this. I don't really idolize players. I don't really have a player that I PC, but I came to the conclusion that I need to have one to PC just because I think you get more enjoyment out of that. And so I recently started picking up Jeff Bagwell for the Astros. I mean, if there's one player that's my favorite, it's going to be him. So
90s Hall of Famer. So he's obviously playing when you started collecting cards as well.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And back there, you can barely see it. That's a picture of me and my grandma at what is now Minute Maid. Then I think it was Enron. And she was a big Astros fan, big, lady in my life. So I love the Astros probably because, I spent a lot of time with her watching games when I was younger.
How did you get into cards? You said you gotten what, like 98 or 99?
Yeah, man, it's a it's a wild one. No one that I knew really liked cards. And then 99, I'm 8 years old. I start playing football in second grade, and I meet who will then become my best friend. I call him Schwartz. I talk about on the channel every once in a while. And him and his dad were into football cards. And then so we would go to the shop, all the time and pull packs and stuff like that. And then, my entire life, him and his dad, been, my best friend and like a second dad to me. So it's just, been a part of our friendship is sports cards. And it's something that's always tied us together too. Something that no matter, maybe I'm deployed for a year, he's got something where he's gone for a year. We can always kind of talk about that.
That's definitely awesome with that. So let's start taking a look at a little bit of your PC. I see you bring over a few cards. Let's talk about them, the stories behind them.
Okay. Well, the stories behind them. Here we go. All right. Well, I'll show off this one. This is one of my favorites, man. I didn't show you this one earlier. This is a 1999. I'll show it on the camera. 1999 Upper Deck SP Authentic. I'm a big fan of Upper Deck SP Authentic. I think it's super undervalued. I don't think people appreciate the quality that Upper Deck was putting into the hobby around 2000. It's really amazing. And this is a game used jersey of Peyton Manning. I got this graded as a SGC 9. I probably had it 15, 20 years. My buddy Schwartz, who I was just talking about, he got so lucky. He ripped a pack like in 2000 and he freaking pulled this card. And I was always so jealous of it. So then like 10 years later, I went and bought one because I'm giving that card. I want that card.
Now, is that his first jersey card or did he have jersey cards his rookie year or?
Well, now that you mention it, I don't know that he had a rookie card his jersey year because, you certainly, man, when do you first start seeing rookie jerseys?
I think that might be his jersey rookie or first jersey.
I never thought about it like that. It definitely could be. For the most part, the rule of thumb back then was always whatever year you have, this is 99, the jersey was from the year prior. So, It is a rookie jersey, but it's a good point that it could be his first jersey card because I'm trying to think I don't really remember any rookie jerseys for the 99 football class or the 2000 football class. By 2002, you for sure have rookie jerseys by 2002. 2000, you for sure have them in 2001 also. So, it's right around that time, but I'm not sure if it's his first one or not.
Either way, it's a cool card.
Yeah, no, it is a rookie jersey. I'll go off of that one. This one's similar. This is 2002. I didn't plan on showing this one off. 2002 Fleer Hot Prospects. I bought this at the first Dallas card show post-COVID. So this is like May of last year. And it freaking gemmed with SGC. It's so cool. That's a Drew Brees, Michael Vick dual jersey there. Again, this is 2002. So these are rookie jerseys and it's numbered to 375. It's just a cool card.
That's awesome. Now, was Dallas, I don't remember if I went to that first one right after COVID or not, but was Dallas the same size as it is today?
It was in the main hall. It was in that hall. And they had one of the rooms at the beginning, if y'all have been there, but they didn't have the rest of it. And it was just, it's so crazy. Cause me and my buddy Schwartz talk about going back to it. And then the ones we've been to since then, I mean, like 1-2 shows ago, you literally couldn't move on the floor on Saturday.
That's crazy there.
Yeah. I remember that first one post COVID. I mean, like you probably had 7 dealers to yourself, there wasn't that many people. But then what happened is over the next couple of quarters, they do about 1 a quarter. Yep. No one else in, North America was doing shows. And so it became real popular and everyone started going.
I think it's an awesome story because it's like that central place where all the collectors, because they now have shows back at home, just went to Dallas and everyone met. It was like a mini national.
Yeah. Because they were the only ones open, it was pretty awesome. So, I'll give you another one here. I mean, this jersey stuff here. This stuff's pretty cool. I just think this stuff's super underappreciated. And growing up, I mean, you might appreciate this. Growing up in cards in the 2000s, jerseys were a big deal.
Oh, I love the jersey cards, man. Like, yeah, I think the value of the jersey card today has been depreciated because of the companies throwing in artificial jerseys or event worn or player worn instead of game used, and people just don't value all of them. I think they get a bad look with the stuff today and look at the old stuff, which should be gold, and they're like, because I mean, like the jersey cards theoretically should be worth just as much as some of the autograph cards. There's less jersey swatches than there's autographs with some of these players. Now, obviously going back pre-war and some of these vintage guys that passed on early, that's not the case. Like there's obviously less Babe Ruth autograph cards and there is Babe Ruth jersey cards, but for the modern players today and for the players that played 60s, 70s, and 80s, there's a lot less jersey cards than there's autos.
Yeah, and I mean, my rule of thumb, just if you're getting new into jerseys, I mean, look for game used, obviously, but if you stay in the hobby prior to 2007, that stuff's all game used, except for rookies. Rookies are different. That's all player worn, event worn. This one, dude, I picked this up for $50 like a few months ago. I don't know how this was still only $50. This is 2004 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection, which I think if you look at National Treasures, Panini Flawless,
Ultimate is up there.
Yeah, all these really high-end sets. It really goes back to early 2000s Upper Deck, the Ultimate Collection, this set, and then some of the SP Authentic stuff. That's when you start to see these real premium cards. But this is a Roger Staubach 3-color patch. You can see the white, blue, and the black there. I mean, that's nice. As many colors as that's as nice a Roger Staubach patch as you're going to see. And it's numbered to 150, and at $50. I'm like, come on.
At Dallas? Or
no, eBay. I bought this on eBay.
Oh, really?
It was even a buy it now, I think, man. I was like, what is happening?
So cool.
So sorry for the picture quality, y'all.
You're good.
Oh, this is a cool one. This was also about $50, dude. I don't understand this. I don't understand this at all. This is 2008 National Treasures. It's number 46 of 50, and it's commemorating the championship game, 1957. So it's got one player from each team. One of the best quarterbacks to ever do it, Bobby Lane, and then one of the best football players of all time, Jim Brown. So game used jersey there.
I love the old NTs.
Right.
I have so many of those type of like double or triple jerseys that just stored away, like for the price value of them.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm doing this NFL 100 collection, and I mean, they literally will have National Treasure cards with 3 guys who are all in the NFL 100, all multiple colors, and it's like, $40. I'm like, what is happening? This is crazy.
What's the guy's name? Like Lou Groza or something like that? Or
Lou Groza, the kicker lineman. Yeah.
No, so I picked up a triple jersey Lou Groza National Treasures in a $5 box at a card show.
It's so ridiculous.
Like for $5, I'm gonna keep that. I'm not gonna flip that or anything like that. I'm putting it straight in my Hall of Fame jersey box. Like the pack of cards is more than $5, and you're talking about getting a triple jersey, a Hall of Famer from NT. Game use.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Some of this stuff is so cheap out here. I mean, here's another. This will be the last 2 jerseys, and I'll switch over. But there's a Elway numbered to 25 2-color game used. Montana 2. I always say Montana. A Namath 2-color numbered to 25 as well. Both of these were like $25 each. I'm just like, this is crazy. Yeah. The Elway actually just showed up in the mail today. I mean, those deals are still out there. Like,
100%. And I'd go after more of that stuff, but I'm so busy with my pre-war stuff. You got to focus on one thing and finish that PC.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I want to finish these, because I do want to get into pre-war football next. There's not that much of it. It's pretty slim pickings. Match books.
Like relics or just of like cards in general?
No, of cards. I mean, because I'll do the
Oh,
NFL 100, and there's some guys on there who are pre-war, and I'll try to find an auto or jersey. I mean, there's Jim Thorpe jerseys out there. There's Sammy Ball jerseys. You can find
yeah.
it exists. You know.
Grange or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
And
Red Grange. Yeah,
we also have some of those Yale players. The
yeah,
old
exactly. Yeah, and a
Mayos
lot of
from
those
Yale.
guys, they're in their college, jersey. I guess they just had it was more readily available for
The
to
Chickle
be
stuff from 35 as well. That the one wrestler Bronco and
Bronco Nagurski. That's the big
dude,
one.
I want that card so much, but then it's like 5 figures. And funny thing about that card is at one point it was the most expensive football card in the hobby.
I mean, it probably still should be, but who am I to say what something's worth? But
Oh, it's so cool, man. I want to get that because
you can get his diamond matchbooks for like $60. So
not bad.
that's what I got as a stand-in for my Hall of Fame collection. I'll show you this last one, and then I'll switch over to Bagwell, I guess. But
All right, sounds good. Let's see it.
this is This is one of my favorite sets. It's 1999 SP Signature. These are beautiful cards. They're really well designed. They give the players a lot of room to sign, and they're all on card. They're mostly I can't say mostly. There's Hall of Famers and there were current players in 99, and all these guys signed so beautifully. This one's Jack Ham. It's hard to find a Jack Ham auto. There's not a lot of them out there. Again, I'm sorry for the focus, but yeah, just a beautiful card, really nice auto. And again, SP is owned by Upper Deck. And what I've noticed is I've looked at a lot of these autos. Upper Deck did a good job of making sure these guys signed with good pins. There's no streaks. There's no missing in the auto. Upper Deck was on top of it, man. They knew what was happening.
Old Upper Deck had some of the best products out there. I mean, Exquisite alone, just the quality that was brought into the hobby when they had that type of stuff. And then SP, SPX, and then they had Ultimate as well, like killer brands.
Yeah, I like to say that I collect the hobby a little bit, and that's why I've really pushed that 99 to 2005 era, because I really do think, 30 years from now, we're going to turn around and look back and say, that's when the hobby really started premium sets. I mean, you can say 1989 Score was premium. You can say 93, Topps Finest Refractors, or you can say that. But this idea of what premium is today starts with
like
Upper
the
Deck around 99.
and things like that.
Yeah. And I don't know, for the Bagwell stuff, I'll show off one cool look. It's just a way for me. Collecting Bagwell is a way to collect 90s baseball, because I'm getting his stuff instead of buying a super expensive Chipper Jones or Derek Jeter or something. I'll buy the Bagwell stuff, and then I can kind of say, look, this is, what 90s baseball was. But this is one of my favorites. This is 1988. His rookie is 1991. But this is 1988 P&L Cape Cod League. These are some of my favorite cards. Frank Thomas is in this set as well. Yeah. Chuck Knobloch. This particular set is actually pretty cool. And I want the Frank Thomas like that. But yeah, I mean, stuff's stupid cheap. And then, I mean, look, guys, it's just explaining my PC, like, again, Bagwell is just a stand-in for 90s baseball, right? It's just one guy from that sport in that era. This is 99 Pacific Prism. I actually think Prism that exists today ripped a lot off from this Prism. I think they're using that, but that's numbered to 320. That one's pretty low. And then there's just a lot of stuff from that era that's like case hits that people don't know about. People know the Select Mirror Gold. They know that one's a case hit. But this is 1994 Upper Deck SPX. This is the Special Effects or something. That was a case hit. Stuff. Yeah. And then here's a exceptional, people know this, Jambalaya style card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you pick a player that isn't Kobe, that isn't Derek Jeter, you can build a pretty awesome PC in a way to look at it and say, like, this is what baseball cards from that era, football card, basketball from that era looked like.
No, some of those cards are really, really cool. I know the Griffey, Jeter, and those guys in baseball are way, way too expensive. But then you look at like the names that are slightly below that, and it's so cheap. And if I was going after that stuff, that's what I'd be grabbing right now.
Yeah, stuff just falls off a cliff, man. Everybody thinks Hall of Fame is safe, and it's if you're looking at it from an investment, I would just say there's a lot of Hall of Famers right now there who are dirt cheap. So
yeah, no, the biggest shocker for me is that some of the 90s pitchers. I mean, you have Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson and Pedro, and they should be a lot more expensive than where they really are. I have my own theories based on why they're cheaper or not, but I mean, for what they've done and during their careers and I kind of legacy that they have, at least on the pitching side of things and baseball side of things, they should be worth a lot more.
Yeah, I won't show them, but it's funny you mentioned those three because I built a collection for Maddux and I'm building one for Pedro and for the big unit. Maddux, all I did was I took like 20 cards throughout the course of his career. Like it was kind of base tops. It's really what it is. Maybe I'd get a gold one every once in a while. and just kind of like, this is his first, Cy Young. This was the last year he won the Gold Glove. This is his rookie. I kind of put together the story of his career through like some base Topps cards. And, it was like a $30 collection, but it's a pretty cool little Greg Maddux collection, for me. So.
Oh, absolutely. So any last minute tips for anyone watching this video right now?
Last minute tips, man. It sounds so stupid and so cliche, but buy what you love for your PC. I mean, it's just, I can't tell you how many times over the course of my time in the hobby, like I get swayed to move a certain direction, but my gut feels one way. And every time I don't listen to my gut, I made a mistake. And so definitely listen to your gut. If you like it, buy it, man. Like assuming it's in your budget and all that stuff, obviously. But try not to get too caught up in the hype.
No, I 100% agree. Do not follow the hype, because you are going to get burned. A lot of these people just pump and dump the cards, and they're dumping it to you. As soon as they're trying to sell you on the card, they've already sold off their inventory. It's just like the crypto out there. And when you buy what you love, you don't care if it goes down a little bit. You have a goal, you have something set in mind, and you actually are invested in it rather than just looking at it from a pure profit loss standpoint. Obviously, you have to look at that perspective of the hobby and how it's been developed over time, but you're still having fun. If you lose a little bit, whatever, you have the card in your PC. So people can follow you on YouTube, Twitter, give it Instagram as well.
But just follow me on YouTube. I'll talk about my Twitter sometimes there. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. It's a good way to get a hold of me. But if you really want to reach out, SCI Discord, I'm always over there. And then my email's in all my video descriptions. So shoot me an email.
Guys, make sure to check out his channel. We actually just did a video over there as well. We're just doing an interview, just having a discussion, everything from fake cards to what I also PC. So that's over on the Sports Card Anonymous channel. And then you can watch, obviously, you just watch this one right over here. So 2 different videos. Make sure to check them out. Hey, thanks again for being on.
Thanks for having me, sir.
No problem.